Hey, what's up guys? Mike Red Fox. In this video we're going to talk about some new GPUs I've added, some GPUs that have died, and what my plans are for this RTX 3080. Alright, back to the tent. So a few things that I've changed in here in the last few weeks is I have a 5x RTX 3060 Ti rig, and if you watch my previous videos, you might go, Mike, didn't you get a total of 6 3060 Ti's? And yeah, I did, but one of them was DOA, and that was the MSI Ventus V1. If you don't know, there was a revision model already released for the MSI Ventus, and those are the ones that I got, and one of them, the fans don't spin. So I sent it back to Newegg to get my refund, so that leaves me with 5, which is why I haven't done a build video, because it doesn't feel right to do a build video if you can't fill the full rig. So still stay tuned for that. I got to pick up another GPU, but as you guys know, they've just been extremely hard to come by. So what I've done is moved my 5x 3060 Ti cards into that grow tent, and you can see the temperature is actually running much cooler. They run about, this tent runs about 10 degrees, maybe 15 degrees cooler since I put the 3060 Ti's in there, versus when I had, you've seen this rig before, these 5700 XTs in there, just because those 3060 Ti's run so much more efficient. So that's what I have going on in there, and just in case you haven't seen it before, 1070 Ti's, this Oris card, 2 fans are dead, so I got to fix that. And then everything down there, there's a combination of 1660 Ti's and 1660 Supers. It's 14 of them. Those have been doing great. So other thing that has happened, I had this Red Devil 5700, which is an absolutely awesome looking card, and I've had it for maybe 3-4 months, and it's dead. Doesn't work. I can get it up in mining for maybe a minute in HiveOS, and it'll give me some GPU errors. And then Windows, I can get it mining, but maybe for a day sometimes, other times an hour before Windows crashes. So I don't know what to do with this card. I've put the original BIOS back on, and it's still happening. And you might be thinking, Mike, why don't you just send it back? I'm sure it's under warranty. Here's the problem. I got it off Amazon Warehouse, and it's in kind of rough shape, and this was the shape it was in when I got it. So you can see here on this side, see that's bent in, and the biggest thing it has is on the PCB. You can probably see that chip right there in the corner. Yeah. And then this bracket was bent, and I kind of bent it back, and I really didn't think much of it because it mined fine, and it was super cheap on Amazon Warehouse. But here we are, and it just doesn't work, and that's super disappointing. So if you have any ideas for me, let me know in the comments section. Otherwise, I'm either going to send it to somebody who might be able to fix it as an experiment, or I'll sell it as is on eBay. But super disappointed by that one. What are you going to do? I guess that's what you get for trying to save a buck and buy something used. All right, and then that brings me to the RTX 3080, and that's what we're going to work on today. So this is the Gigabyte RTX 3080. If you don't know, this will absolutely have thermal throttling issues, and we're certainly going to test that here in a second. And then I have a plan for it. So the first thing I'm not going to do in this video is I did buy some thermal pads, 3mm, which seems like if I just add those between the memory and the backplate, it should help dissipate the heat and get me out of being thermal throttled. So I have that as an option, but what I think I'm going to do first is actually put this in this rig over here, and I'm going to move all of this into my unheated garage, and I'm going to see if just those really cool temperatures can prevent this card from thermal throttling, and we'll test that out in this video. But first, I want to get it set up in this rig in HiveOS, confirm that it's going to thermal throttle mining Ethereum, and then once it does, we'll take this whole rig and we're going to put it outside in my garage, and we're going to see two things. What kind of temperatures do these cards run at, including the 3080? And then how much heat will this generate, and will it be able to heat my single car garage? And to what temperature might it heat it to? So let's get this RTX 3080 up in this rig, and we're gonna get started. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna plug all that in. We'll get it mining and we'll check it out. RTX 3080 is installed. You can see the fans are spinning, it's running. So let's head over to Hive OS here, and we'll see what kind of performance I'm getting with the overclocks I have set, and then we'll check out and confirm that it is thermal throttling. So let me go ahead and switch over to Phoenix Miner is what I'm using right now. It's not the best miner for NVIDIA at this point. TRX is probably the best one, but this gives me a little more information, a little easier to see for the video. All right, so you can see it is getting about 96 mega hash. I have the memory at 1800 in Linux. It could do a little bit more, but that's what I set it as a starting place. Power limited to 230 watts. So that's what we're looking for. So you can see right here, 229.7. And then what we'll see is if that number goes down and can't hit 230, it's definitely thermal throttling. And then obviously we're gonna keep an eye on that mega hash, which I'm sure will drop as well as that card's memory heats up mining Ethereum. So let's give it a second and we'll start confirming that. I'm sure it will probably happen any minute now, because that seems to be the case with anybody who has a this gigabyte model, or there's a couple other models that thermal throttle for sure. Seems like the EVGA ones are really good. And I've seen kind of mixed reports on the Founders Edition cards. But if you guys have an RTX 3080, let me know what your experiences have been in the description down below. Maybe what brands you want to avoid and what brands are really great out of the box. All right, so let's take a look. Yep, there's our mega hash is dropping as the card is warming up. So we've went from 96 and we're dropping already down to 92, and there's the wattage dropping. So from 230 to 218. So I'm not going to waste any time here. That's going to keep going down. We'll probably end up in the 70s for mega hash, and probably in the 200s or high 100s for wattage. So let's not mess around anymore. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this rig into my unheated garage, and we're going to see if those really cold temperatures prevent this card from thermal throttling. And then these AMD cards, you know, the memory runs pretty hot on them, and we're going to see what kind of memory temperatures we get, especially on this MSI mech, which one's really hot, because you guys know I hate this card. And we'll see what we get. So I'm going to move this all in the garage, then we'll check out Hive OS and see what it's doing. All right, well, we're in my garage. The rig's been running for a little while now. You can see it there. There's the 3080, and there's my 5700s NXTs. This you may have seen before. This is a Black Miner F1 FPGA. And you can see just in a little bit here what the temperature has been raised to. It's almost 65 degrees Fahrenheit here in this unheated single car garage. This is pulling about 300 watts, and then this is probably getting close to 800 watts to give you an idea of the amount of wattage and heat that's currently being generated from these rigs. This feels pretty cool coming out, but you can definitely feel the heat coming off the GPUs. And to give you an idea of the outside temperature right now, I mean, it's snowing out there, so it's cold, but it feels really good in here. I just am really impressed with just this, how much it's been able to raise the temperature in this garage space. So let's see if the 3080's thermal throttling. We're going to jump into Hive OS here in a second, and we'll check out the temperatures of these GPUs as well. So I'll be right back. Here we are in Hive OS. You can see that GPU rig that I have mining in the garage right now. There's the 5700s NXTs, and there's that 3080. And you can see the temperatures. Temperatures are looking amazing. For the AMD cards, we're really worried about the memory temperature, and you can see 82, 74, 78 on those. Those in my basement were hitting around 88, 90, 96 degrees for that MSI card that doesn't have great thermals. And now in that unheated garage, they're running really good. But the one that I was really curious about was the RTX 3080. That's that gigabyte model that has some thermal throttling issues and needs essentially either to run really cold, have great cooling, or have thermal pads replaced or added. I haven't done that yet, but I figured let's move it in the garage, and you can see that it's not thermal throttling. And how I know that is the power limit that I have set on this card, 230, is exactly what it's doing. When it is thermal throttling, the easy way to know is that the wattage it's pulling will be lower than the power limit that you set. So you might be seeing like 211 watts there, 200 watts there. That means it's throttling itself because temperatures are getting too warm. But in this case, it's looking good. I have a mild overclock on the memory. It can do a little more. This card should be able to get 100, but I wanted it to be super stable just to get started to see what those temperatures would be. So yeah, I think that's where I'm going to keep this rig for now. It's going to keep all these cards cool that run with hotter memory, and it gives me some heat into my garage. Okay, 2 things before we go. I want to recognize some other crypto miners on YouTube that have certainly paved the way for somebody like me to come create content and have an audience to watch. And the first is Red Panda Mining. I'm sure you guys all are subscribed to him, but if you didn't know yet, send him a congratulations. He just hit 50,000 subscribers, and I mean, in just a couple days from hitting that, is at now 52.9 K subscribers as of making this video. So really thankful to him for what he's done for the space. And like I said, allowed somebody like me to come up and create content and have an audience to watch. The other person that's really important to me is Hash Raptor. I love his videos. I'm a big fan of him. I hang out in his Discord quite a bit. And he is at 11.6K subscribers. So he just is having some giveaways coming up on his channel. So big congratulations to him. If you're not subscribed, make sure you go do and send him a congratulations comment on his latest video. But yeah, guys, that's it. Super thankful for you for checking this video out. Super thankful for the community and people like Red Panda and Hash Raptor for their content. But as always, please take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you in the next video.
RX, RTX, GTX, GP News. RX, RTX, GTX, GP News. RX, RTX, GTX, GP News.